hurt.
Wait. Let's think before we act.
Silent but deadly. Locha, let's charge in together. If we take them out quickly, we can rescue the girl.
What happened to us letting you handle it?
I've only got 2 hands. Please, I'll wangle you a prize for your bravery or something when it's all over.
Enough. Let's go. I've no interest in conflict.
Let me through. Dodge this. Don't your hands hurt?
Fighting is meaningless.
You're the best.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Want to see what I can do? Dodge this! Take this! Rise, Venus! Let me through!
You!
Want to see what I can do? You're not going anywhere!
Receive divinity.
You're the best!
Repay. I'll Eternal sleep is not the dead return!
Miss, are you okay?
What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't see any blood, so I thought you were okay. You're a puppet.
My motor is broken. I can't move. Are you a Cloud Knight? Good. Take me to the Realm Keeping Commission.
Locha, silent but deadly. I'm afraid we have to delay things again. This lady is one of the judges of the 10 Lords Commission. As a Cloud Knight, I must prioritize her orders. I'm sorry. If I'd known, I wouldn't have got you to come with me. You'd probably be there by now if you'd gone by yourself.
I happen to have some medical knowledge. Perhaps I can treat the young lady's injuries?
Well, it's just... she's a puppet. I think we should just take her to the Realm Keeping Commission.
Don't worry, Miss Sushang. Leave it to me. You might get an aching or numbing sensation, but it shouldn't be too painful. Do you think you can hold still?
It won't work. My body is mechanical, not flesh and blood.
Be it mechanical or organic, we're still dealing with composite substances. I just hope you'll tolerate my methods.
Curious.
How... oh, what kind of medical knowledge is this?
Abundance.
Very good. We, no longer need to return to the Realm Keeping Commission. The mission continues. As a judge in the employ of the Ten Lords Commission, I am forbidden from interfering in the affairs of outsiders. However, seeing as you came to my aid, a word of advice. Leave as soon as possible. I came to address the root of our crisis by arresting a fugitive, a Stellaron hunter. This villain possesses exceptional swordsmanship and wields a divine weapon. They are extremely dangerous. If it hadn't been for a strange accident, my wakespan might have been cut short.
Strange accident?
Come with me. I've never seen anything like it.
You know, even eons can be killed. Are you kidding? That's not what we want. I just want to tell stories from the past. Stories about eons that have fallen. Lon the Permanence, Drilla the Beauty, Anna the Order, Taseront the Propagation, Akivili the Trailblaze. These names were once known all over the universe. And now they've all but disappeared, leaving behind only masterless paths. And currently, there are 3 ways an eon can perish known to humanity. 1. Paths with overlapping concepts will eventually collide, and the broader path will engulf the narrower one. That's how Enna the Order was assimilated by Shipe the Harmony. 2. In a war between eons, the stronger side will annihilate the weaker one. That's how Taseront the Propagation fell. Under the guidance of the Hunt, the Cienjo Alliance travels the universe exterminating abominations cultivated by the Abundance. So, the Cienjo, too, are engaged in this process. As far as I know, the predecessors of the Alliance were the Elixir Seekers. They searched for Yaoshe and longed for the blessing of immortality. When they eventually found the Eon, they received the blessing that did indeed prevent death, the Ambrosial Arbor. But immortality turned out to be a curse for the Cienjo. That's when the Hunt appeared, firing an arrow and felling the Ambrosial Arbor. Ever since, the Alliance has followed the Hunt in pursuit of Yaoshe, erasing the curse of immortality from the universe along the way. What do you think? Fascinating stories, no? They're the kind of stories that folks on the straight and narrow would never tell you. Hold on. Any minute now. It's begun.
Escape? How are we gonna explain this to the Master Diviner?
If what she said is true, we won't have to explain anything.
Hey, did she brainwash you? Wasn't this the dead tree Qingque showed us earlier? How did it grow all of a sudden?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even the long-lived might not witness something like this in their lifetime. I'm so lucky.
Such extraordinary energy. It's the Stellaron.
Mr. Yang, do you mean the Stellaron is making the ambrosial arbor grow?
Yes, the Stellaron the Cloud Knights are searching for must be causing this anomaly.
If there's medicine, it'll come in handy.
Where's that?
A delicate... If there's medicine, it'll come in handy.
Unless Kafka deceived the Matrix of Prescience.
Stay calm, Diviner Fu. The Matrix of Prescience does not lie. The logic you have laid out concerning Kafka makes sense. It has helped me to fill in another piece of the puzzle. I agree there is a hostile external force at work on the Luofu. The Stellaron didn't appear out of thin air. Someone managed to sneak it onto the ship. As for the culprits behind the Luofu's internal strife, I believe we are dealing with the so-called Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, that shadowy organization of the denizens of abundance. Kafka's revelations confirm my suspicions.
General, when did you have these suspicions?
The moment the planter of the Stellaron revealed himself. The Xianzhou has the blessing of the Rainbow Arbiter, and only another Eon Emanator would be capable of sneaking onto this ship without my knowing. We are dealing with an external threat. The Stellaron corrosion continues to flood into the ship, and yet it bypassed both the seat of divine foresight and the shackling prison. There is forethought here. Our enemy must have had access to Luofu intelligence for things to unfold in this way. It is evident now. The Stellaron hunters aren't the ones behind the curtain. No. As soon as I set eyes on Blade, it was clear to me. But why is he here? And why did he draw the Astral Express? That piece of the puzzle still eludes me. Nevertheless, Lady Fu, your intel means the puzzle is more complete than it was before. These Stellaron hunters are a captivating group. Such lengths to get the Xianzhou and the Express onto the same track. Who would have believed it?
General, we must retain all urgency. The Ambrosial Arbor.
It's the Stellaron. No need to search high and low. The traders have planted it in the Ambrosial Arbor's delve, thereby causing the tree to grow once again. The Disciples of Sanctus Medicus couldn't hold off any longer.
Every crisis is a turning point. A problem is easier to resolve when you know where it lies. Am I coming up with a plan again?
Of course. I'm sure you have a countermeasure at the ready, Master Diviner.
From my perspective, convening the Cloud Knights is our immediate priority. We must head into the roots of the Ambrosial Arbor, expel the Stellaron spirits, and prevent the Arbor's resurrection.
As ever, the Master Diviner's omniscia provides for the fastest solution. However, sometimes speed is not everything. I have known the Stellaron's location for a while now. So why have I held back our forces?
General?
Well?
You're a scoundrel.
Pulling up the grass requires removing the roots. The Disciples of Sanctus Medicus have chosen to make their move now, which means the Cloud Knights have the situation under control and the traders have run out of patience. Now is the time to capture them all in one fell swoop.
You've been sitting on that this whole time? How will you justify the losses if something goes wrong, General?
Please, Lady Fu, I still have forces to deploy. We were in need of extra hands, and the Stellaron hunters were kind enough to bring us together with the Astral Express. How could I look the other way?
The General's smiling again. Definitely errands.
It's my fault. I had higher expectations of the General. Please, we can't keep getting them to do everything for us. Since when did we run out of people on the Luofu? Why are you staring at me?
Do I need to remind you, General, that the Ambrosial Arbor's access point is a closely guarded secret? Allowing Outworlders would be...
A violation of the rules and regulations. I would like to remind you, Lady Fu, that the Xianzhou comes before its rules and regulations, all the more so in times of crisis. As such, I am about to make a decision that runs counter to those rules and regulations. Oh, decisions plural. What a rare pleasure. Lady Fu, I hereby issue you with the military tally. The Cloud Knights will be under your control. You will act in concert with the other forces in the approach to the Ambrosial Arbor through the Alchemy Commission Delve.
Under... my control?
You've been eager to discover for yourself what it is to be a general, have you not?
You've never given me the opportunity, and now suddenly... Understood. As you wish.
As for our astral friends, I hereby formally welcome you all to join our operation to seal the Stellaron. Lady Fu will deploy the Cloud Knights, but I would like you to set off in advance. Take a shortcut through the Artisanship Commission and convene with Lady Fu further down the line. This is no errand, honored guests. I am merely stating what needs to be done should you wish to help us.
You've never really seen us as outsiders, huh?
Miss Tingyun, I would like you to continue to serve as a guide for our astral friends.
Oh, of course, General. I am duty-bound.
The Alchemy Commission and Scale Gorge Waterscape delves are adjacent to the Ambrosial Arbor's seal. I'd like you to investigate these places. It is an ancient artifact that was planted on the Xianzhou Lufu by Yaoshe, the Eon of Abundance. It has the power to shape life and subdue death at will. The ancestors of the Lufu people consumed the fruits of the Ambrosial Arbor and gained endless lifespans, thus becoming long-life species.
Sounds like an amazing treasure.
Yes. It was also the bane of everything to come. As outsiders, you are unfamiliar with the history of the Xianzhou. I cannot blame you for asking a question like this. Let me tell you a story. Long ago, before the Xianzhou took to the skies, our ancestors lived on the surface of a planet. Like all of you, the Xianzhou people at that time were a mortal species with a lifespan of fewer than 100 years. There was a time when the ruling emperor could not bear his temporary existence, or the thought of his life's achievements being lost to another after his death. He became fixated on acquiring an elixir of immortality, and focused his power on constructing a fleet of 9 ships. These ships would voyage into deep space, where traces of gods were rumored to exist.
Did he... succeed?
Yes. And no. He succeeded because, after an arduous journey, the 9 ships eventually witnessed the manifestation of a god. Yaoshe's appearance provided for all manner of unfathomable celestial blessings. However, he failed because the fleet has been lost ever since, and has never been able to return to its home planet.
That doesn't sound so bad. The Xianzhou people went on a great adventure and got what they wanted in the end. Right?
Oh? Our ancestors once thought so too, but the miracle of longevity was nothing more than a vain dream. Take the Lufu, for example. Immortality seems like a beautiful thing. But what followed was population expansion and diminishing resources. In the struggle for survival, the immortals lost their humanity and degenerated into mere beasts. After paying the price with blood and tears, the Luofu people finally understood that immortality was not a free blessing, but the beginning of a cruel ordeal. In the eras that followed, other beings that had likewise received Yaoshi's blessings repeatedly attacked the Xianzhou in an attempt to take the sacred artifact as their own. Countless atrocities were committed as a result. Many Xianzhou comrades who were lucky enough to survive the wars became stricken with Mara, a condition that immortals are susceptible to. Had it not been for the enlightenment and protection of the Rainbow Arbiter, the Xianzhou Alliance you see today would never have existed. At this point in the story, I assume you understand the disasters that the resurrection of the Ambrosial Arbor might bring about? Thousands of years have passed since the Rainbow Arbiter felled the Ambrosial Arbor. Most in the Xianzhou regard the arbor as nothing more than the stump of a dead tree. Only those familiar with our history and the ancient texts know of its origin. Our ancestors placed the stump in full view of the people precisely to make it seem unimportant. But in fact, they sealed it behind layers upon layers of delve enchantment. Even if one travels toward the Ambrosial Arbor, one will never reach it. Someone brought a Stellaron into the Xianzhou and planted it among the roots of the Ambrosial Arbor. They wish to resurrect it and achieve their hidden goal through external aggression. In my opinion, the force that provided the Stellaron and the force that activated it have different objectives. I have asked Fu Shen to open a shortcut to the Divination Commission for you.
Did the Divination Commission put able to speak nonsense on that job post?
repository when the ambrosial arbor started to grow. The trunk suddenly shot right up into the sky. So, the legends were right all along. Such is life, full of surprises. That's why you gotta seize any opportunity to take a break. Who knows when trouble will come knocking at your door? It'll be fine. Even if the sky collapses, we have the Master Diviner with us to hold it up. Oh, and now we have the General here too. What do subordinates like us have to panic about? Let the big shots worry about the big events. That's the secret to happiness. She did. She saw me on her way over. She told me to go to the repository, and a simple task like that is only 15 minutes work for me. I heard people say even the General has to watch his manners when asking you for help. Pretty impressive. I don't have much to offer you. Here, take this book. It's the thought that counts. I was gonna wait for the Master Diviner to get off work so I could show you around and teach Mr. Yang how to play Celestial Jade.
Your kindness is much appreciated, Miss Qingque. As for Celestial Jade, we'll have to leave it for next time.
I know, you've got an important task ahead. Sorry to keep you. Priorities are priorities. Well then, get back safely. Remember to come find me in Exalting Sanctum. A step forward bridges no distance hence. The hexagram was right. The ambrosial arbor was felled thousands of years ago. Now it returns to life. The future of the Xianzhou is difficult to define. I had long anticipated it. Huh? She's not angry? Is there anyone that isn't 2 steps ahead of us around here? Pursuing Kafka is a waste of time and effort. The Matrix of Prescience informed me of her innocence. Our priority is the ambrosial arbor. From the time the Stellaron corrosion began to spread until now, the only reports we've received on the Alchemy Commission have come from alchemists and doctors stationed in other delves. The Alchemy Commission is where the Xianzhou's medical research and production take place. However, due to its proximity to the ambrosial arbor's seal, I'm afraid the Stellaron spirits may have plunged it into a deeper crisis than we first feared. To make matters worse, the General suspects there are traitors in the Alchemy Commission. The self-proclaimed disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been plotting this for a long time. And now they're using the location to their advantage. I must take action as soon as possible. He really is a delegator at heart, isn't he? There isn't much distance between the artisanship and alchemy commissions. I'm afraid the former is likely also facing imminent catastrophe. The star skiff is ready. I will lead the way. I still have important tasks from the General to attend to. Go carefully, all of you.
Wait! Master Diviner! Can you divine our fortunes for us? Is there anything we need to watch out for?
No need. My Omniscia has seen that your journey will be auspicious. Everything will proceed smoothly.
Are you sure? You don't need to use a crazy device or do more finger counting?
Well said. Thank you for your assurance, Master Diviner. Onward.
What's the delay? If you're worried about the road ahead, I've already told you. The hexagram indicates an auspicious result. Don't believe me? Fine. Fate is fickle. Better to believe in yourself than look to the sky.
That's a healthy thing.
Huh? Look at all the people gathered here. Not a good day for commuting on the LaFu. The Artisanship Commission Delve should have suspended operations after the Stellaron corrosion began. Why haven't these people taken Star's gifts to safety?
Maybe the Artisanship Commission are just more dedicated to their work? The Divination Commission's diviners aren't exactly a hard act to follow.
At the end of the day, work is work. You need it to live. You know, March, adults forget what relaxation means after a certain age.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Just speaking from the heart, that's all.
I think they call that complaining from the heart.
Are any of the paths in this world easy to tread? The Artisanship Commission is full of workshops, building state-of-the-art mechanisms, and craftsmen designing brand new concepts. Periodically stirring up trouble is part of their tradition. Entire buildings vanishing into thin air, puppet riots. You get the picture. It seems like the craftsmen are too afraid to go in, but they have nowhere to run to either. We should take care, benefactors. Something terrible must have happened.
Either way, we'll have to go in. Let's ask around first.
It's no ordinary tree. The branches felt tough as metal. Hyuncha, have you ever seen material like that before?
What if I have? You gonna go get a sample for me?
I was thinking about it, yeah. Isn't it just an ornamental tree?
Have you ever seen an ornamental tree move? Have you ever seen one bore through the ground like that, huh?
So what if it moves? I just need to run over and saw off a sample. I can't grow faster than I can run, right?
Sure. Go ahead. Here's a crowbar and a saw. Don't say I didn't warn you when the Cloud Knights have to scrape you off the walls.
Well, I've been feeling a bit under the weather lately. Yunsha, you're the most agile person on the materials team when it comes to operational efficiency.
Under the weather, huh? How convenient. As for me, I'd rather stay alive, thanks.
As expected, the divination was correct. If I hadn't repaired the shifting screen today, we'd have all been trapped. We'd be fertilizer by now. Still, the teleportation range wasn't enough.
Master Gongshu. Oh, are you guys Cloud Knights? Are you here to save us? Your clothes. I knew I was getting ahead of myself. You're just tourists. Sorry this crisis came during your trip. I'm sorry it came at all.
Yeah, you just need to tell us what the trouble is. General Jing Yuan pulled out all the stops to get us here. You can trust us.
You mean the General invited you? Is that a joke? The Luofu has the Cloud Knights. Why would he send outsiders? There's been a serious incident in the Artisanship Commission. Nobody's in the mood for jokes, miss.
You misunderstand, young sir. We genuinely want to help. Can you tell us what happened here?
Waiting around, that's what. We ran away. It was way too dangerous in there. Please, if you plan on living a little longer, don't go in there. There's been some kind of botanical disaster. It was like an ornamental tree somewhere suddenly started to grow. There were branches so thick you couldn't put your arms around them. It spread everywhere. The whole commission is being destroyed. I don't get it. The Artisanship Commission focuses on the mechanical. We've got nothing to do with hydroponics or accelerated growth. Where did that thing come from? The worst thing is, my master is still inside. Master Gongshu is the most experienced craftsman in the Artisanship Commission smelting works. He's in charge of our research project. When the incident happened, he dragged me, Zeming, and Yuncha to safety. But then he turned around and ran back in. I need to wait here for the Cloud Knight so I can tell them to rescue him.
Why did he run back in?
That's not how it works. The research comes first here. I just heard him shout, "It's gone! We lost the furnace!" By the time we realized, he'd already vanished. Anyway, you said you're here to help us, right?
100%. The General sent us.
You don't have to believe us. The Astral Express doesn't shout about its achievements. We'll look for your master.
In that case, take this jade seal with you. If you find my master, please bring him out safe and sound. If anything happens to him...
Don't worry, young sir. Your master's safety is out.
None of us would be able to graduate this year.
Let's go. I think this conversation's run its course. Botanical disaster? It must be the ambrosial arbor. But what about the furnace his master mentioned?